Ready when you are.
Turquoise, fuchsia, deep coral. These are three of my favorite colors. So some of you are sitting there going, why is she telling me this? Who cares? Well, I'm telling you this because I wanted to let you know that I love color and I love coloring. And I would like to show a few pictures of just a few things I have done. As you can see, some of the colors are in there that I talked about. And this is a couple of other, just to give you an idea of the coloring that I've done. I particularly like this one because it's pop mango with the sea creatures on. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so a lot of you are saying, and this affects me how? I understand that. Well, I wanted to let you know that I've discovered something that has really brought me a lot of stress relief and basically happiness. And I think that being college students, stress is something that we all face. So it might be something that would help you. And so what I'm going to do is let you know that coloring relieves stress. It also can open a new world to you as it did me. And also I'm going to talk to you a little bit about balance in life. So, and I feel qualified to talk about this because I'm experiencing it. And what I would like to tell you too, first of all, is how I started coloring, why it relieves stress, and then again about the balance. So when I do telemarketing, well I don't now, but I did telemarketing for a long time. And as you can imagine, that's a pretty stressful thing to do. And I've always doodled, always. For the 26 years that I've been on the phone, I've doodled. Well, a few years ago, one day I started coloring my doodles. And then I started putting them up in my cubicle because it made me feel good to look at them. And then a friend of mine, a coworker, saw them and she gave me a color book. And I thought, I don't know, this is kind of silly. It's for kids, you know, which I'm sure all of you are probably thinking that too. But I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. So I started coloring. And my boss didn't care because as long as I produced, that's all they cared. And I did. In fact, I produced better when I started coloring because it relieved my stress. So, you know, I've told you why I think coloring relieves stress. Now let's see what else we can find out and who else thinks that it can relieve your stress. According to an online newsletter for Piedmont Healthcare and Healthcare, dated 2018, written by Susan Gordon, LMSW, manager of Piedmont 60 Plus. The article was entitled, Do Coloring Books Decrease Stress? And she brings out that when you're coloring, you're focusing on what you're doing at that moment, and so it relieves your stress because you're not thinking about your worries. She also said it builds your imagination. Sometimes people feel like they didn't as a child, which a lot of us, childhood was less stressful than adulthood. And I also found some evidence from a professional stating that coloring really relaxes your brain. And according to an online magazine entitled Brain and Spine, dated November 13th, 2015, Scott MB, PSYD, wrote an article called 3 Reasons Adult Coloring Can Actually Relax Your Brain. He talks about how coloring requires moderate attention. It's a simple act like knitting or going on a drive, and it actually relaxes your brain, and relaxing your brain in turn relieves stress. Also, I want to make clear too that not to confuse this with art therapy, because I also read an article in Medical Daily, which is an online magazine, dated October 8th, 2015, and it was entitled The Therapeutic Science of Adult Coloring. It's by Dana Covey And Drina Fagan, which she questioned her for the article, and she is an adjunct professor at a university. She's an art therapist. She said she would not call it art therapy, but it is therapeutic. And, you know, basically, as I draw my speech to an end, I just want to summarize that coloring relieved stress. It brought a new world to me, because I also never had any talent that I thought of in drawing or painting or anything like that, but it gave me the courage to take a beginning drawing class, and I love it. I've taken it this semester, and it's wonderful. So what I want to say to you right now in closing is that coloring relieves stress. Don't go overboard on it and spend too much time and money. That's the part about balance.
Mm-hmm.
But also I want to say, go out there and have a colorful life. Thank you.